I feel like we got to the point where if you think of 1v1ing and or even if anybody thinks of the like who are ask themselves who are the best 1v1ers, like us three are definitely at the top. Like no doubt anybody, any list anybody made, it'd always be the us three at the top.
I'm telling you, back then nobody fucked with us. Nobody could not be touched. Yo, what the fuck is up, people? I'm giving out BL1 content for the people who still low-key crave BL1 content, you know, on the low, you know what I'm saying? I got ya. And don't say there ain't no people on the low, because y'all be seeing my fucking analytics be blowing the fuck up when I'm active, when I be posting and shit. It be going crazy, I ain't gonna cap. Alright, so let's get into the video, baby. In this video, I'm gonna explain why the community named this the Legendary 3. If you ask most people what their top 10 is, LC, Pipe, and Red Bull are almost always at the top. And in this video, we're gonna get into what made each of us so unstoppable, dog. Sheesh. Starting off with the myth, the legend, LC. This guy is like the most mysterious 1v1er in our community's history. He quit in 2015 and was still talked about in BL1's final competitive year, 2020. Whenever his name was brought up in a lobby, there was always a discussion. 2013 and 2014, Wabby and Vast were the faces of BL1 those years, but there was always a dark horse who could beat them the entire time. He just never really cared about rankings, so he didn't take their rank, you know, which is interesting. 2015 would be the last year he played seriously, with the only people being able to beat him being It's Pipe, the King 809, and of course the guy who beat him the most, me. Of course I'm gonna take that brag. LC is fucking goated, so yeah, I'm gonna take that fucking brag. Controversy, ooh. Since LC was a part of the infamous 5150 clan, which was a known modding clan, he would get a lot of flack about him being a modder. People said it was the only reason he was so damn good, but he was in 5150 back in 2012. Competitive 1v1ing on BL1 didn't actually start until 2013, to be fair. Although, being unbiased, this clip from Pipe's podcast was a bit weird. Play it.
Ask LC if he will ever show up on PS3 ever again.
Probably not.
Why not?
I let it go. Too many. I know I was one of the modders, man, but it's just I like to play the game for fun, man.
Coming up next, we got the face of BL1 1v1 straight from the dome. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you guys my story. I spent early to mid 2014 playing with Wabby, Vask, and LC countless times, testing myself, getting little tricks from them, adding it to my arsenal. By the end of 2014, I felt like I was number one, but I never got the chance to play either of them to prove it. I'm talking about Wabby or Vask. Then we enter 2015, and everything changes. This was my breakout year. Yo, let me show y'all real quick. This year was actually the perfect year to test myself and prove I was number one, you know? Why, you say? Because at this point, the community was flooded with top 10 opposition, top 10 all-time 1v1ers, like the most stacked, like the most competitive 1v1 year BL1 has ever had, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Some shit like that. Vask won rank 1 the previous year in 2014 in a tournament that included all the best 1v1ers at the time. He wanted to replicate that with all new 2015 1v1ers, so Vask and Sage went and created their own leaderboard and tournament. And I said to myself, this is where I proved myself. I got all the big dogs in the tournament. This is where like I pee and mark my territory and shit, nigga. I'm the best type shit, you know what I mean? I then go on to win the tournament and become rank 1. At this point, I've accomplished everything I ever wanted to in this game. Like, I'm rank 1. But there was 3 loose ends I had to tie to tell myself I was truly number 1. The objective was to decisively beat Vass, Wabby, and LC and leave a stamp on that shit. Because, in my mind, they're like the epitome. They're like the top level. If I beat them, that's it. Because they were the guys that everybody else respected. So, if I whoop their ass, you know? I could already check Vask off the list since I beat him 2-0 in the tournament. So I set my sights on Wabby. Once he joined my lobby, LC told me to play Wabby, and I knew this was my chance to play him, beat him, and that's exactly what I did. My traps and ground game at this point was just too much for him, and I ended up leaving him at, I think it was like 16, if I remember correctly. Last but not least, I had to play the 1v1er that everyone has lost to, LC, man. I remember him saying he wanted to play me for rank once I beat Wabby, and I agreed. A couple weeks later, we ended up warming up with 2 games. He won one, I won the other game. Then we played for rank. I managed to beat him in one of the hardest games of my career, with the score being like 3-2. I won 3 games, he won 2. He definitely has more wins on me if we're counting 2014, but if we're talking strictly 2015, we had more or less the same win-loss ratio on each other, with me winning that for rank game. I defended my rank a couple more times and decided to quit because I've accomplished everything, and I had to focus on school at the time. 2016 through like 2018, I was on here and there, you know, but because of school, I couldn't play religiously like how I used to when I was number 1. So naturally, like some other 1v1ers took the spotlight a little bit. We entered 2019-2020 though. I have a bit more time to play like how I used to and shit. I got my shot back and absolutely dominated. And I think I got over like 50 30-0s, man. I swear, like people try to downplay that, but it's like, bro, no one's 30-0ing Trillion that many times, no one's 30-0ing Gonza that many times, no one's 30-0ing like Gloxley that many times. The shit that I did is crazy. And then Trillion's like literally like right behind Vectors in the all-time list, so it's like there's people at that level where I did it too, so it's like, man, give me that fucking credit. Shout out Trillion. It's only the 30-0 is only good because of how good Trillion is. So people literally could not believe how good I was, to the point where certain people were speculating if I cheated because they couldn't believe how good I was. I'm not even joking. Look at this. I just take this shit as like a compliment because think about it, like they literally can't believe I'm that good. But I honestly just think it's something that needs to say it like when they're mad or some shit. So who the fuck? But it's like, but yeah, that goes to show like I started playing religiously again, like how I did in 2015. Got my shot back. That 2015 shot came back, and then like no one even thought I was a real shot. That's how it was 2015. Like that's how like crazy the shots were. Except that's just me having that shot with knowing more traps. So, because obviously with time you get the knowledge, more spawn knowledge and everything. So I started hitting like variety and shit. Last but certainly not least, it's Pipe. After losing to Vask in the 2014 rankings tournament, Pipe told himself that something had to change about his playstyle. He noticed that he hit the same trap over and over again, so he found new variations to help him expand his arsenal. He was teaching himself how to spawn trap in every part of the map to give himself the advantage over everyone he faces. When it comes to ground game, wallbangs, and movement, he learned a lot from LC and Wabby, which would explain why Pipe had such good noob-time ground game. Skip ahead to 2016, Pipe came back to the community and dominated everyone. Won rank 1 and Hall of Fame, and once again proving he's not just a regular player. Controversy, woo! I'm sorry, over here on Pipe's side, Pipe has had little to no controversy that I know about. Pretty calm and humble dude, to be honest, so sorry. Ain't no tea there, sis ass boy. This was a fun one to make. I don't make much videos because I'm boxing now, and I'm pretty damn good too. But I always like to get back to the BO1 community and give you guys BO1 content to reminisce to make you look back, feel like a kid like for a little bit. You know what I mean? But yeah, boxing, like I'm actually doing this shit. I'm whooping motherfuckers' ass and shit. Like I'm good. I'm nice with it type shit. So obviously I'm focusing on that.